Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making electric skillet stuffed cabbage. Alright, I'm starting out in a large bowl and I have roughly 3 pounds of lean ground beef. You want to use lean ground beef for this, guys, because it's going to put off grease in there and you're not going to be able to get it out if you don't use lean. So I'm going to start with my seasonings. I'm going to add in about a teaspoon of salt. And your seasonings are to your preference and to your taste. I'm going to add in about a half a teaspoon of pepper. And I'm going to try to keep these as simple as possible for you guys, so that way you'll be encouraged to make them. I'm going to add in some garlic. And I'm pretty much making these like I make my meatballs. I'm going to add in about 2 teaspoons of the minced garlic, where you would use 2 cloves if you use fresh. I'm going to add in some Italian seasoning. I'm going to add in about a tablespoon. You want your stuffed peppers, or stuffed cabbage rather, sorry about that, to be well seasoned. Now I have an onion that I diced up fine. I'm going to get that in there, and I just bumped the camera. Sorry about that. I'm going to add in 1 egg. I have some rice that I cooked ahead and left it cool down. We're going to get some rice in there. This is a cup of rice. I'm probably only going to put about half of that in there. And this will loosen up as I mix these together. And I'm going to add in a little bit of Italian seasoned breadcrumb. Probably about a half a cup. I'm going to get in here and go right to it and get this all mixed together. Okay, now that I have my ground beef mixed up and set aside, I have 2 heads of cabbage that I boiled the leaves up in some salt water, cut the cores out of them, that's where the stem is, boiled them up in some salt water just till the leaves pulled off. And you'll know when it's ready, you'll see the leaves starting to separate, you just pull them off. And I left these cool. Now you see how there's a stem here? You want to take a knife and just trim that stem off. That's so when you roll your stuffed cabbage, I was going to call them pigeons, because here in Pennsylvania, that's what we call them. Now I'm going to roll 2 of these up so you can see how you do it, and then I'll roll the rest of them off camera to save time. Just put a nice piece of ground beef in there, roll it, push your sides over, and then continue rolling it. Then you put it the folded side down. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish rolling all my stuffed cabbage rolls up, and then I'll bring it back. Alright, now I have all my cabbage rolls rolled up, and you'll see them in a minute. That bowl I had the ground beef in, we're going to mix our tomato sauce for over it. I'm going to grab a fork over here. And this is simple and straightforward, not hard at all. I'm going to start with a 46-ounce can of tomato juice. And I have 2 10 3/4 ounce cans of tomato soup. Just want to get that all in there. And I'm going to add in a little bit of Italian seasoning. I'm going to go for about a teaspoon. And I'm just going to mix this all together. And the onions that are on the side of a bowl, they get in the sauce. That's extra flavor. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of my sauce. And if you don't have an electric skillet, or you don't want to do it this way, you would put it in a 9x13 baking pan, cover it with foil, and put it in a 350-degree oven for an hour. I'm going to put a little bit of my sauce down on the bottom of the skillet. Try not to spill it all over the stove. Now my leftover cabbage leaves, we're just going to line the bottom of the skillet. Because what this is going to do, this is going to keep our stuffed cabbage from burning. And you could also eat these leaves if they don't get burned. My mom would often throw the extra cabbage leaves in, and we would just eat those after all the cabbage rolls were gone. And I'm just going to line this up with these leaves so they don't go to waste. And these leaves still have the stem on them. The reason we cut the stem off is because that makes it easier for rolling out your stuffed cabbage. Alright, now we're going to add our cabbage rolls in here. Let me bring these over. Guys, I left 2 without cabbage on them because my son Greg and his friend Megan are coming down for supper. They're in college. and they don't like the cabbage, but they like the ground beef inside. And you want to put the end down. That'll hold them together. You see how beautiful this is. And you just want to line all of your stuffed cabbage in here. Move these over a little bit. Now if you like, you could put some cheese inside of your ground beef. I'm just making these the way Mom always made them, so we're going to keep them traditional. And let me get Greg and Megan's little meatloafs in there. Okay, let me get rid of this pan. Now I'm going to take the rest of my tomato sauce, and we're just going to pour this down over the stuffed cabbage. You see, guys, that isn't hard at all to make. Alright, let me wipe off the side of my electric skillet. I'm going to turn my skillet up till this comes up to a boil. I'm going to turn it to about 350. If you have one that just says low, medium, high, put it on high till that comes up to a boil. And then I'm going to cover this. When it comes up to a boil, I'm going to reduce it down to probably about 275, 250, and let it gently simmer for about an hour. In that time, the beef will be cooked through, the cabbage will be rest away cooked, and it'll be really delicious. Alright guys, these went for an hour. They're nice and done. I kept this set down at 200 degrees. Like if you have one with a thermostat that doesn't have the temperature on it, keep it on low. You want to add a gentle boil. These are ready to go. Let's go ahead and fix up a plate and see what we got. I went ahead and put a little bit of shaved Parmesan cheese on these. Get in here and give this a try. Cabbage is tender. See, my beef is cooked through. It's really good. That beef is really tender, well seasoned. I'll try a little bit of the cabbage. That's really delicious, guys, and it really wasn't that hard at all. Alright, there you have it. Electric skillet stuffed cabbage. Give it a try. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see ya.